Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself, or from holding certain views which others find inadmissible. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity. The creative mind plays with the objects it loves. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Your perception will become clear only when you can look into your soul. Man needs difficulties. They are necessary for health. The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. The greatest burden a child must bear is where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. The dream is the small hidden door in the deepest and most intimate sanctum of the soul, which opens to that primeval cosmic night that was so long before there was a conscious ego, and will be so far beyond what a conscious ego could ever reach. The more one does the conspicuous things, the less one is inclined to perform the things that remain undone. The most intense conflicts, if overcome, leave behind a sense of security and calm that is not easily disturbed. What you do not bring to consciousness appears in your life as fate. A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. It is far better to take things as they come along with patience and equanimity. Our prime purpose in this life is to help others, and if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward, in whatever way they. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. The healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is tortured who turn into torturers. A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. The pendulum of the mind alternates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. It all depends on how we look at things, and not how they are in themselves. We are born at a given moment, in a given place, and like vintage years of wine, we have the qualities of the year and of the season of which we are born. Astrology does not lay claim to anything more. The collective unconscious consists of the sum of the instincts and their correlates, the archetypes. Just as everybody possesses instincts, so he also possesses a stock of archetypal images. Knowledge rests not upon truth alone, but upon error also. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. If there is anything that we wish to change in the child, we should first examine it and see whether it is not something that could better be changed in ourselves. There is no such thing as a pure introvert or extrovert. Such a person would be in the lunatic asylum. Dreams are the guiding words of the soul. Why should I henceforth not love my dreams and not make their riddling images into objects of my daily consideration? If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool. The most intense conflicts, if overcome, leave behind a sense of security and calm that is not easily disturbed. It is just these intense conflicts and their conflagration which are needed to produce valuable and lasting results. For a young person, it is almost a sin, or at least a danger, to be too preoccupied with himself. But for the aging person, it is a duty and a necessity to devote serious attention to himself. The debt we owe to the play of imagination is incalculable. Man's task is to become conscious of the contents that press upward from the unconscious. Who has fully realized that history is not contained in thick books, but lives in our very blood. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. One looks back with appreciation to the brilliant teachers, but with gratitude to those who touch our human feelings. The curriculum is so much necessary raw material, but warmth is the vital element for the growing plant and for the soul of the child. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, or morphine, or idealism. Children are educated by what the grown-up is, and not by his talk. Through pride, we are ever deceiving ourselves. But deep down below the surface of the average conscience, a still, small voice says to us, something is out of tune. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate.